high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. We appreciate all of you out there joining us tonight on Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson, and we'll be with you until 9 o'clock this evening, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. We appreciate so much all of you out there tuning us in this evening, no matter how that might be, whether it's on the radio, 97.5 Kalijah Country, or Charter Channel 3, or statewide, Charter Channel 21, 187, 190, depending on if you're the northern or southern part of the state of Alabama. We appreciate all of you out there joining us. You can tune us in on Facebook Live or many other social media platforms. Twitter, we are, again, infecting your household in one way or another. And you're going to have to try hard to get away from us. But we appreciate all of you out there.
There's got to be a better way to put
that. If you'd like to, there's always an interesting thread on Facebook Live. So if you'd like to comment away on any things that we talk about, by all means, dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page. That's Sports with a Z. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way and give us a call, 256-234-6221. We're brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Two great sponsors located right here in Alexander City. Great place to have lunch or dinner, JR Sports Bar and Grill. And if you got heating and cooling needs, Sunshine Heating and Air is the place to go to. Hey, obviously a lot going on. I think we got a phone call right off the bat. Let's go to it.
That's a record.
Yeah.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, I'd just like to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Benjamin Russell's head coach, has he ever had any head coach experience at all?
I'm almost positive.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Kevin Smith?
Yes.
Been an assistant for, I think, over 20 years, but never a head coach as far as I know.
Wait just a minute. Been assistant for how long?
I think over 20 years, maybe. He's been at Benjamin Russell since
he's been at Benjamin
the
Russell
Savarese days, if I'm not mistaken.
He's been an assistant for 20 years.
I believe so.
Head coach, okay. I was just wondering, we were talking in one of the restaurants, everybody was talking about how he got the coaching job and everything. He's doing a good job, but just wondered if he'd ever had any experience as a head coach before.
I don't think so. I like to say, he's coached under several guys at Benjamin Russell, been at Benjamin Russell for many, many years, and I think that was part of the decision, his loyalty to the program, and knows it in, backwards and forwards.
But did they not even interview any other coaches?
Oh, yeah, they interviewed several coaches. Yeah. There were quite a few inquiries, and I think I don't know exactly the number, but it was quite a few.
Oh, okay. Well, all right then. They chose the best man for the job, they thought. Hope so.
Thank you, bud.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you for the call.
Didn't know exactly where that was going,
no,
did you? I was crossing my fingers.
Look, Benjamin Russell, 3-3 on the year. Had kind of been up and down. Have looked very pedestrian offensively at times. Had a really good game against Chilton County. Hopefully got a lot of confidence as they went on the road and won 55-7 against Tal Morrison team in Chilton County. But they'll come back and they'll have to go on the road to play Opelika, who is a really good team. Now they took it on the chin pretty good against Phoenix City, but a lot of teams are
so with the Bengals. The Central Phoenix City is pretty doggone strong. So not to get in too much into that because there is some moderate breaking news, but before we get into that, I got to say, I can't tell if this new set makes me look fat or I am fat. I'm going to have to do some soul searching of my own when I get home.
They say that the new set adds 10 pounds.
Well, I'm sort of like Chandler on Friends when Monica said that, how many cameras are on me? But anyway, talk about the breaking news.
What's the breaking news?
What we said we were going to talk about.
I didn't know if that was necessarily breaking news, but
it's moderately breaking.
Moderately breaking. That's a good way to put it. We'll talk about a lot of things tonight. As always, there's a ton to talk about. Auburn and Alabama. Look, the Mississippi schools want no part of the state of Alabama and haven't for a while, but specifically this year, that's for sure. Auburn trounces Ole Miss in Tuscaloosa. Auburn has their way. with Mississippi State as well. So we'll talk about those games. We'll break those down, talk about the SEC and the NCAA. Major League Baseball playoffs begin tonight. Nationals and Brewers. Luke, I know you're interested in that game.
Wait.
Max
That's
Scherzer.
tonight, huh?
One-game playoff. This is a chance to see. Oh, come on.
It's so stupid.
Look, you didn't win the division. You don't deserve an automatic bid.
I'm fine with that. Just don't have it. You didn't have it forever. Don't have a one-game playoff.
It just creates
Andy.
an interesting
No, it
game.
doesn't.
Yes,
It's stupid.
it does.
It's another stupid caveat in sports where we have all these dumb things. The 2-minute warning is stupid. It's only in there to make for drama. And yes, it creates drama, but you ruin what the rest of the game has been. Don't have a 2-minute warning. Don't give somebody else a chance. Why give these two teams that didn't do well enough in the regular season a one-game chance to ruin somebody's chance who did do well?
Well, I'm not saying they didn't do well enough.
Longevity.
No,
Baseball is an excruciatingly long,
They played well
arduous
enough to
task.
be a good team. They deserve an opportunity. They just don't deserve an automatic opportunity.
No, they don't.
They need to have to
just-
play their wins.
I
think it's fine.
Now,
It's
it goes
interesting.
back to, let's just why don't you just let everybody in?
Look, you just hate baseball.
I do
That's
hate
part of
baseball,
it.
but why don't we just let everybody in?
Why would you let everybody in? They don't deserve to be in. They don't deserve the
These two
opportunity.
teams don't.
Yes, they do.
Andy, they hadn't forever until how many years ago they started doing
No,
this?
look, baseball has evolved. Back in the day, you know why they started doing this? Because the San Francisco Giants won 103 games and didn't get into the playoffs.
And you know
because
what?
the Braves won 104.
Guess what? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, okay.
That means you should have beaten the Braves when you had a chance. If you had beaten the Braves one extra game, guess what? You would have gotten in. So there's where your one game could have come into play.
But you said earlier, this game's not based on one game. It's based on longevity.
And the Braves proved
the
over
entire
the long
season.
The Braves proved over the long run in that particular season they were the better team.
Well,
by
I don't
one
know
game.
if you proved by one game that you're a better team.
Well, Andy, the sport lasts from April until we've got to go into November for this junk because we have to sell our souls again. We're going to talk about more selling of the souls. But Major League Baseball, who is supposed to be this pure, all about tradition, it's a big phony pile of crap. This one-game playoff, it defies it flies in the face of everything that baseball is, which I used to respect. Now you can't even respect that. The one-game playoff, while it's dramatic, I'm not saying it's not dramatic. It's like the 68 teams in the NCAA tournament. It's fine. If you want drama and that's all you want, let everybody in. But if you want to do what's right by the sport, don't let teams in that don't deserve to be there. You had a whole season to prove who was good and who wasn't, and who was worthy and who wasn't.
And you do that by giving them home field advantage, by giving them
and then you give them so one of these teams gets a one-game chance. Look, it's very difficult unless your argument is we're doing it for the money. If that's your argument, I go, okay, I see where you're going. But now don't come at me with traditionalism. If your argument is this is awesome, this is the best thing for the sport. No, it's not. If it's for the money, I understand it. If
it creates more excitement in the sport, how can it not be the best thing for the sport?
It's not the best thing for the sport because baseball is supposed to be the pure the game that is built on a foundation of traditionalism, and this is stupid. There's no other way to put it. And I'm fine. Again, if you want drama, let's just let everybody keep playing. That'll create drama. Give Kansas City. Is Kansas City bad this year?
Yes.
Give the Royals a chance now. Give them a second chance. That's what the conference basketball tournament.
That's a
silly. Well, it'd be drama.
No,
you like drama.
You're not rewarding a team for winning 50 games, but you are rewarding a team that won maybe 85 games.
I wonder how many of these two teams won. I'm just curious.
I don't know exactly, but I would say in between 85.
I'm gonna have to look it up now.
I would probably.
Trusty iPhone.
But a little bit more. But hey, that wasn't even the topic we were going to talk about. But we'll get to that.
We could talk about that.
NFL season going on as well. But the big news, kind of affecting college football in general, is that California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a bill that will allow players, college athletes in the state of California, the opportunity to profit off their name and likeness. They can sign with an agent. They can sign advertising contracts with shoe companies, with apparel companies, with Gatorade, with whoever and whatever they would like. I think there was a caveat that I read that it can't conflict with the team's contract. So I guess maybe if the team is
if you're
outfitted
a Nike
by
team,
Nike,
you can't wear Under Armour.
You got to be, yeah. So I mean, you can't be doing commercials for Under Armour. But so that adds another element into it about where kids are going to go, and how Nike and these other huge apparel deals. What we just got through doing with basketball about how it controls college basketball, and we're about to open the floodgates in the college football. However, this won't go into effect until 2023, so there's massive lawsuits and massive discussions, and all different kinds of opinions are going to be weighed going back and forth. Perhaps some compromise will be made, perhaps not. It depends on whether other states start doing this. That ball has already begun to roll in different legislatures around the country.
South Carolina.
It is now in motion because of what California has done, and because of what the NCAA has said, that if you do this, our rules are that we're an amateur sport, and if you profit off your likeness, you cannot compete in the NCAA as far as championships and things like that. So there is an immovable object and an irresistible force going to meet, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I know this. I don't know many things that have gotten better whenever the government gets involved. And the government's gotten involved now, and here we go. And so I think all the states will have to follow suit eventually. We can talk about amateurism or whatever, and I know that I think the NCAA, we think of the NCAA as like this hulking villain, when really it's the athletic directors and the presidents of these universities. They're all in this together, so they can't really point fingers at anybody but themselves for having let it get to this point. We should have figured out some things a long time ago to make it a little more financially fair, because I do think players should have been getting a little bit more piece of the pie. Not a huge piece, but figure out something that makes it right.
Well, to hang on to that, we got to get to a break, but we'll ponder this during the commercial. You think about it. If you got any thoughts, you can contact us, 256-234-6221. More to come right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota. We'd like to announce our new lifetime warranty on any new Toyota.
Hashtag lifetime warranty.
Hashtag we love our customers.
It can be used nationwide at no additional cost.
Hashtag customer service.
So come on by and let us show you
the Vaden way.
Hashtag maintenance matters.
Hashtag totally awesome.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, just a short drive from home or online.
Hashtag your neighborhood dealership.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. Kia's at 0% financing and no payments for 90 days.
Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Dye. At Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live on this Tuesday evening. Andy and Luke here with you. Talking about California passing the Fair Pay to Play Act and how that's going to affect college athletics in general. We were talking about that. You were kind of ruminating on that before we went to break. Let's go back to that. You can kind of finish your thought.
Well, Jeremy agreed with me and said, look, 2-minute warning and 1-game playoff in Major League Baseball is all for money. And to me, that's what this is too. And look, again, colleges and universities and presidents and athletic directors and coaches have nobody to blame but themselves. They've let all these coaching salaries go haywire, which, again, I'm fine. I mean, Nick Saban deserves this and probably 3 times what he's making. Let's be real. He has done more for the University of Alabama and Tuscaloosa and the state of Alabama and college football in general than anybody could have ever asked. But, you know, we build these huge shrines to these football teams. We build museums and these athletic centers, and everybody's in an arms race, and there's money, and everything's gold-plated, and LSU's got something where your chairs turn into rocket ships, and we got money on top of money, and then they want to keep screaming amateurism. You know, look, I'm fine with the players having all the amenities. I've always said that. I think that's great. I mean, that's part of the deal. But now we've gotten to a point where the players are like, what about us? And they kind of have a point, because here's the other thing. Let's also call a spade here. There's some players on every single team that if they weren't playing football, would they be able to get into their respective universities?
No.
And so do you really think we're monitoring everybody to make sure everybody gets the best education? That if somebody else, I know this, you know, I had some fraternity brothers that when they weren't doing well in school, they didn't get like an extra tutor. They didn't get somebody that the school came and helped them out. They were like, okay, you're failing, you're out of here. You know, my point is they already get a lot, but now they want more, and I kind of understand it. At the same time, it feels icky. This doesn't feel like it's going to end well, because what's going to happen, it's not the schools paying these people. That's the other thing. Is everybody thinks, oh yeah, the school's making all this money, give them money. No, it's going to be endorsers like a Nike or like a, you know, Bob's used motor court.
Agents and lawyers are the ones that make the most.
Exactly. And well, here's what they're going to do. What's going to be weird is if, let's say, John and Alice's hometown restaurant says, we're going, you know, let's say they do really well. We're going to, we got a quarterback named John Smith.
I've eaten there. It's pretty good.
John Smith, and we want him to go to Texas, and we're going to give him $100,000 to sign. And then what if he didn't do well? What if he throws 3 interceptions the first game and he's benched? Can they pull his contract? I mean, you know, is that good? What if he does well, but the coach doesn't like him and doesn't want to play him? Do they flex their muscles in terms of a booster to the university and say, you better start playing the guy I'm paying?
Of course.
And what I'm saying is I don't want all this undue influence. And it makes college sports seem even ickier than it already is. I mean, the whole basketball corruption thing made us all feel slimy. This is going to be a lot worse. I believe. At the same time, I get what the players are saying. I feel like I'm floating out in space here. Like I don't know. Maybe this won't be as bad as I think. Maybe I'm just being, pessimistic.
I'm afraid it's going to be worse than
That's what I'm worried about, though. Like, I'm not taking this far enough.
Well, yeah, I saw a thing on ESPN today, and this is part of the problem. It said an explanation of the Fair Pay to Play Act. And it went into this cartoon, and it said, college athletics, the NCAA has made hundreds of millions of dollars. And these athletes are the reason why, and they're getting nothing from it. And it said that all the money goes to the NCAA or back to the university, and it just showed this big trail of money going back to basically like a Sanford Hall, a picture of that, that is so misleading of what's actually going on. Yes, okay, Auburn, Alabama, Texas A&M, yes, they make somewhere in between $140 and $180 million a year. But you know what? Their budget is about $150 million a year. Okay, they may be making somewhere in between $10 and $25 million profit. Yeah, okay, I get that. And that money goes back into building all these cathedrals for these players and all these weight rooms and everything like that. But all that money that's being made is put into apparel that they give to the kids. It's to weight rooms, to stadiums, to flights to fly them all around the country to these different games, to tuition, to books,
all the food they could possibly
you can eat, to housing, to everything. I mean, when you break it to tutors, when you break it down, I would like to know somebody to really budget what it is. And you saw, they say kids don't. You get a $4,000 stipend a month, or whatever it is, or now if you're a college athlete, or is it $4,000 a year? I don't know, whatever it is. They're getting money on a stipend, but they're probably, if you add in everything and what it would actually cost, they got to be making $250,000 a year, or more than that.
And Patrick says, look, he doesn't think it's going to be as bad as everybody believes it will be, and not being money off your likeness is ridiculous. I get that point. I understand where that's coming from. What I'm scared of is something like, let's say it's somebody big. It's not all going to be. Not everybody's going to get a Nike contract, and that's another thing. At lunch, people were talking about Title IX. I said, I don't think Title IX is even going to come into effect here because it's going to be an individual basis. It's going to be whatever you can negotiate with whatever sponsor you can get. But let's say Nike is with Zion and Zion Williamson or somebody like him, and the guys, or with Trevor Lawrence, and they say, Trevor, you're killing it, but this year you're not having a great year. Why don't you just hang up the cleats until you're draft eligible, and we'll keep paying you. You just train, because if you keep playing, you're going to keep showing weaknesses, and the more weaknesses you have, the less people are going to love you, and the less chance you have to go number one. Why don't you just hang up the cleats, and we'll take care of the bill. Don't worry about school. Forget Clemson. Yeah. I don't ever want it to come to that, and I know that that's just me being, looking for some utopia here, but that scares the heck out of me. We've already seen some of this with the bowl people sitting at the bowl games, right? But that's a real thing. Think about last year, for instance. Everybody was 2 of this and 2 of that, but as the year went on, even though he was gutting it out on a bad knee, wearing a brace, people were like, hey, I see some flaws in his game. This year, he's thrown 23 touchdowns, no picks, 1,800 yards or whatever it is, and people are going, yeah, he's pretty good. I don't know if I'd take him number 1. He's a little short, maybe not as fast as I want. And I'm thinking, are y'all watching the same game? That same guy I'm watching? The more you see people, the more you start to pick apart their game. So that's what I'm thinking is a Nike might say to Trevor, hey, we'll foot the bill for another year and a half till you're draft eligible. You just hang up the cleats.
I just think when you add in agents and lawyers and this kind of money into openly, into college athletics, it's going to cause unintended consequences out the wazoo, and it's going to fundamentally change the sport. And I think education is the first thing that probably goes to the side because, I mean, you're there to make money, and education just becomes nothing. But up against another break. Let's go take it, and we'll be back with more of the Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Listen up, America. Millions of Americans just like you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and are facing liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, penalty abatements, and other IRS enforcement actions. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your debts for less than ever before. Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? If so, then call Tax Savings Helpline now.
Please call 800-980-7190. WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundations. This week's matchup will feature the Hoover Bucks versus the Tuscaloosa County Wildcats. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks of the playoffs. WOTM, the home of AHSAA Super 7, live from Jordan-Hare.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
Cater your tailgate and game day parties with Chicken Salad Chick. All the Chick favorites like Buffalo Barkley, Kickin' Kaylin, and Sassy Scotty make the perfect dips and sandwich platters. Chicken Salad Chick is always a great choice when planning for a crowd. Our grab-and-go quick chicks make it easy. And now for a limited time, Rockin' Rita is back. Made with Wickles spicy red relish, this flavor has a kick of spice. Chicken Salad Chick and fall football, the perfect matchup.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Morrison Haynes Law Firm in Alexander City are proud members of our community. Our team of dedicated employees live, work, and support in our local communities, and we are all actively engaged in our hometowns. Just like all area players, parents, and coaches, we are committed to the betterment of our local area and want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this fall. The Morrison Haynes Law Firm in Alexander City, a proud supporter of all area athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you for about 30 more minutes in the first hour of tonight's program.
And I want to tell everybody, I'm just as uncomfortable as you think I am. I have not found the sweet spot in this chair, how I sit. I'm too long and lanky and torso-y.
Cross legs or no cross legs?
Cross legs or not. I mean, this is uncomfortable.
You missed the desk, right?
I missed the desk a lot. I could lean over. This is not working for me either, folks. So, I mean, if you don't like me, you appreciate how uncomfortable I am.
Keep those letters coming. We'll see what we can do. Getting to some comments that we had come rolling in. Patrick was talking about, he said, I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think, but athletes not being able to capitalize on their likenesses our own likeness is ridiculous. They just changed the policy for food. There was a cap on that for years. That went into effect, a couple of years ago. It's really going to affect basketball more than football It's only 35 stars, and those are the guys that will get the most attention. Brewers are up 2-0 on the Nationals. Max Scherzer on the mound for the Nationals, so that one in Washington.
And again, I think, I don't know if you agree with me or not, I'm for the players getting something. I don't know what that is. I would hope there are people a lot smarter than I that can come up with something. But this way, in theory, sounds great.
Again,
in practice, I think it's going to be really slimy.
I think they're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars every year worth of amenities and
what's
everything,
no student
and
debt
they're
worth?
getting a world-class education.
What's no student debt worth?
Well, I mean, ask somebody that's got it.
Well, I was fortunate enough to not have it, but I know that there's a student debt crisis right now. I do know this, too. I believe that eliminating student debt, everybody just free and clear, I don't think that's the way to go either. I think if they really want to fix this, what they'll say is, okay, we're not going to give out these student loans as easily, federally backed student loans as easily as we used to.
I think we got another phone call.
All right. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Blitz, Big John.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. I just thought I'd call when y'all know it's the Blitz 2 team. 5-1. They got one more home game. They play which comes Thursday or homecoming. So I've been really had a homecoming. Now Blitz is doing 1-2. They don't do great in everything. They get great football game.
So homecoming on Thursday.
Yes, sir. I want everybody come out and support the Blitz 2 team call. 8th grade 5-1. They beat Prattville 9-7.
Awesome.
So that's per year. I think it's per year. We beat 7-8-2 in Prattville.
Beat Prattville. That's impressive.
Well, thank you, Johnny. We appreciate you letting everybody know, okay?
All right.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Johnny.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
You too. Yeah, homecoming Thursday. Beating Prattville.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Well, everybody knows now.
Come out, yeah. Well, come out and support. Absolutely.
Well, look, I think the bottom line of this is that I'm worried to death about it, about affecting something that, frankly, I've invested a lot of my life into. I was just thinking today, like, could football and basketball collegiately, could this really be changed forever with all this going into motion? I know it doesn't come in until 2023. Something's going to happen before then. There's no way everybody's going to wait till then. So am I going to have to do something different with my falls? I mean, I don't know. I just don't. Y'all quit screwing up the things I like. If y'all want to screw up baseball, go for it. Don't screw up my stuff.
Another phone call. Here we go.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Steve from Montgomery.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, I agree with everything that, on both sides of the guys getting paid, and it's just that what if, say, a Tua gets paid $100,000 and the center don't get nothing?
Yeah.
And that's going to happen.
Yeah.
We talked about that at lunch today. That was something else that, what if one middle linebacker who is a 5-star comes in and he's kicking butt. I mean, he's in high school and he comes in and he gets the $100,000, and then you got another guy who's a senior who gets nothing. You got to think that's going to affect team chemistry. But I guess the counter argument to that would be that already happens in the NFL. I mean, where Julio Jones, signs with Nike and gets $1 gazillion, and Mohamed Sanu and Calvin Ridley don't have those side hustles, and you just got to deal with it. Everybody's just got to eat what they kill. It's just, Steve, you might be with me on this. I've always felt like the college game, no matter if it's football, baseball, basketball, water polo, women's sport, track and field, whatever, was more of a team element than anything in the pros.
This would take away from the team. I mean, they won't play together no more.
No, that's what worries me. And I don't want to fundamentally change a sport that I have grown up absolutely adoring. That's what's scaring me about it. But I also know, Steve, I don't think we can stop it.
Yeah, I see it coming too. I do. I really do.
I appreciate the phone call, buddy.
Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, that again, if you want to turn it into a minor league, professional system, and go do it somewhere else. Don't ruin college athletics, because I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. Again, we all loathe change, and a lot of times it's really not as bad as we all think it will be, but it just seems like this totally fundamentally changes the essence of what it is, and I cannot see this ending well, and I think it's very disingenuous for the people in California to say, oh, this is going to help college athletics, and I think no.
Here's another thing too.
Hold on to that thought. We're up against a break, but we'll be back and we'll continue this discussion. Thank you for the phone calls. More to come right after this.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika. Boaters in the Lake Martin area know whether you need service, maintenance, repairs, a great selection of pre-owned boats, or a brand new pontoon. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280 is there for you. Thanks to a record-setting sales year, Alex City Marine now has one of the finest pre-owned inventories they've ever had. Repairs, service, routine maintenance, for all your boating needs. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280. Check them out online at alexcitymarine.com.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. The days are long, but the nights are hot at Copper's Grill at Stillwater's with local live entertainment Friday and Saturday night and a surprisingly delicious weekend special from the head chef that'll make you come back for more. Come by boat or by land to Copper's Grill at Stillwater's. Casual dining at its best.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Had a great conversation about college football and its future. What is it going to look like? The Fair Pay to Play Act passed in California. It is now in place. It won't take effect for 4 more years. So there's a lot of time between now and then to try to figure out something. You wonder what will happen. Will it be compromised from the NCAA? Will they figure out a way to both coexist so the NCAA still keeps its structure and governing body, or does it just kind of go away and a new system of government that oversees college athletics? And my goodness, what would that even look like?
And look, we want to get into talking about, both of us went to our respective Alabama and Auburn games. We want to talk about that in a second. But I think the thing that we as Southerners look at this and go, why is California doing this? Why do they have to? California's got plenty of issues. Tackle one of those. Now, if they truly are passionate about this, I think the governor could have gone to the heads of various universities and said, guys, I want y'all to put some pressure on them that way. We don't have to sign something into law and make it an even more divisive thing. I think he could have put some political pressure on these folks and left that part out of it, instead of grandstanding with this law on LeBron James' show. I think we could have just leave LeBron out of this. I understand he's got a unique perspective because he grew up at a time where he could have. Now he was fortunate; he didn't have to go to college at all. I mean, he could have gone straight to the NBA. So he does have a unique perspective on this. I understand that. I respect it, but there's something that just seems like pandering when he goes into the shop, LeBron James' show, to sign the bill of this into law. Something about that doesn't seem right to me. And I just feel like I want the government out of more things, not in more things. And I especially don't want them in my college football.
Absolutely not.
So, but going to the game, why don't we talk Auburn first?
All right. Huge win for Auburn over Mississippi State in more ways than one. I mean, not that Mississippi State's a great team, but I think they're a decent team, and I think Garrett Schrader is a pretty impressive athlete. I think he already throws the ball better than Nick Fitzgerald, and he probably runs it about as well. Kind of reminds me he's about that size, but
he also looks the same upside down as he does right side up with that beard.
He does. He kind of got a Lon Chaney thing going on. He looks like the Wolfman, but it was a great atmosphere. I think it was. I mean, it was. If it wasn't a sellout, it was pretty close. Of course, the basketball team was a big, getting Final Four rings and all that, and having a trophy, and that was that kind of hyped up everything. You have Sharif Cooper, 5-star point guard, committing over the weekend. There was just so many positive things going on. But Auburn, the defense finally gets off to a good start, and they set up the offense right out of the bat. You got a good punt return. You're on the 30-yard line. You score on the first play. And before you blink, it's 21-0, and it was pretty much downhill from there. So I don't know, is there anything you can complain about other than to say stop fumbling the football? You really need to clean that up because it's going to cost them a game at some point. But it was just it was the dominating performance I think we were all wanting to see from Auburn and from Bo Nix.
I always say any team plays its best a couple times a year, plays its worst a couple times a year. Everything in between is what you are. I think this is one of Auburn's better games. And I thought the atmosphere.
Hopefully not.
The atmosphere did look good. Well, I mean, Auburn played about it. Getting out 21-0 lead on an SEC West opponent. Now, it should be tempered. Then one thing that everybody glossed over: Mississippi State did have 5 or 6 guys suspended right before the game, and it showed. And I'll tell you something.
Well, they had guys suspended all year.
But they had some other guys suspended for this, or they didn't know they weren't going to be there for this game. This Moorhead cat ain't going to make it. I mean, you can, again, there are times you see something and you go, that's it. That's the demarcation point. He can't go any further than that. It's over. I believe Joe Moorhead is in over his head. I believe he doesn't understand the SEC culture. And he looked on TV now. I'm watching this on TV. I'm not there, and I wasn't beside him. But every time Auburn scored, it was like him looking at like a menu. It was like he's looking at a Chinese menu, just checking off the dishes he wants. He was like, okay. He wasn't like upset at anybody. He wasn't looking around like, why weren't you in this spot? He wasn't coaching.
Well, he might ought to be fired just for starting the Stevens kid.
And that's the other thing. He is trying to shoehorn this Stevens kid in there when Schrader, granted he's a true freshman, is obviously better.
Yeah. We got a phone call.
Yeah. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead. Caller, go ahead. Did we lose you, caller? I guess we lost you.
I guess we lost the call. If you want to give us a call back, by all means, 256-234-6221. Go ahead.
But
we may have it right back. I don't know.
Okay, that'd be great. But again.
Let's try it again.
Okay, let's try it again. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
This is Brian from Eclectic.
Hey, Brian.
Brian from Eclectic.
And what kind of son of beat Dable?
How about that?
Yeah, that was unique.
That number 7, Benson, he's up for the Player of the Week.
Well, that's great, Brian, and congratulations to you guys, okay?
We face Hanley at home this week. At home, it's Hanley.
Hanley pretty good?
They lost at home last week.
Oh, well, Lynette's pretty good.
Thank you, Brian.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
But going back to this, and again, the one thing I took away from it, Bo Nix was on target. I saw a lot of things out of him that I used to see in high school. Seth Williams.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a very good way. Seth Williams is every bit the athlete that I saw in high school. Again, I mean, I saw him play basketball and saw him play some football. Just a really, really good athlete. In any other week, he probably wins SEC Player of the Week. But when Devontae Smith catches 5 touchdowns in a game, you're going to get it. But I thought he looked really good. Mississippi State looked about as off kilter as you could be. Again, it was such a bad start for them. The worst thing that could have happened for State was to get the ball first, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
They get the ball, and as soon as I turned TV on, it's 4th and 20-something. And it was 4th and 17, and they get another penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, they just couldn't get it together. And that goes back to Moorhead in the sense that he had no idea what to do. And I feel like he's going to have more moments of this. And Andy, if you remember, I said on this show, all I know for sure was Mississippi State was going to beat Florida last year because of the revenge factor.
Yeah.
And Florida beat them, and I said, uh-oh, because that wasn't a good Florida team.
No.
So let's go ahead and take another call. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. How y'all tonight?
Hey, Jerome.
Right.
Hey, I enjoy that ball game, both of them. I enjoy Alabama and Auburn. And, I just want to ask, do you think Auburn could go undefeated? I want y'all to think about this because I know it could come down between Alabama and Auburn play for the championship. Because I think Auburn will get Florida. I believe Auburn will beat them. I'll say 45 to maybe 17.
Wow.
Florida Auburn looks good. At times. And the guy from my hometown, he scored 3 touchdowns, Mr. Whitlow, and so I'm for Auburn for right now. Till he leaves, and when he leaves, I'm back to Alabama. But anyway, what y'all think? And I'm gonna hang up and listen to y'all. Okay.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Jerome. Can Auburn go undefeated? I mean, obviously, sure, it's possible, but it is very unlikely. You got on the road at Florida, obviously, this weekend. That'll be a very difficult test. They're number 10 in the country. I expect Auburn to win that game. I think Auburn's better than Florida, but that doesn't guarantee a win on the road in the Swamp. It's a difficult place to play, even though Auburn's had some success there over the years.
Well, Florida hadn't beaten them since 2002.
No. Well,
now they hadn't played as much, but they hadn't beaten them since 2002. And I'm like Jerome, I don't know if it's going to be 45-17, but I think Auburn's going to beat Florida relatively handily. And this is setting up, again, we all said it could be coming into the year, but we don't think many of us really believed it. But it's setting up really well because, Auburn beats Oregon where they didn't play that great, and they score in the last second and end up winning in true Auburn fashion. Then 2 weeks later, they play an A&M team. They're like, oh, my God, there's no chance you have to go in there and win in that hellhole. Well, everybody still believes that when, frankly, A&M ain't that good. I think we've determined A&M's not very good.
I don't think you can take a lot from that Arkansas game, they're definitely not.
But I think what we can take now, we don't have a large enough sample size to make too many conclusions, but you can say, okay, Clemson sort of toyed with them like Clemson was a cat and they were a dead mouse.
Yeah.
And Clemson may not be that good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We may be seeing that Clemson may not be what we thought. So what I'm saying is, and now they're going to go to a Florida team where everybody's like, well, they're in the top 10, they're an SEC team. This doesn't look like I've not seen anything out of Florida, and I go back to the Miami game that makes me think they're a deserving top 10 team.
They didn't blow Towson off.
If Notre Dame was playing at Gainesville this weekend, I would say Notre Dame would win by 14. I mean, that's how and I'm an anti-Notre Dame pro-SEC guy. So that's what I'm saying is this sets up really well to get some more good publicity.
Think about this, and we'll go to break. Bet which is more likely, Auburn to go undefeated or Auburn, LSU, and Alabama end up 11-1. We'll go to break. We'll come back. We'll discuss that right after this.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. Kia's at 0% financing and no payments for 90 days.
Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Dye. Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to goreesfurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
Atlanta's hottest music event is here. ATL Live at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Friday, November 15th. Don't miss Keith Urban, Blake Shelton, Sam Hunt, Sugarland, Judah the Lion, and Kale Dove. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. We were talking about the Auburn-Mississippi State game, but what's more likely? Jerome brings it up. Can Auburn go undefeated? More likely, Auburn goes undefeated, or Auburn, Alabama, and LSU end up 11-1.
I'd say it's more likely Alabama, Auburn, and LSU end up 11-1 because it's difficult to go undefeated, period. But yeah, that would be a thing. I mean, we've already used the scenario. What if everybody wins at home? Well, what if it's the reverse? What if Auburn wins at LSU, LSU wins at Alabama, and Alabama wins at Auburn? I mean, then what? I mean, and the tiebreakers would be, it'd be all about ranking, or it would actually be about college football playoff committee placement.
Yeah.
And I think everybody would have their own valid arguments. I mean, Auburn's would probably be, hey, our schedule was tougher than those two, or, Alabama would say, yeah, but we've been number one for the longest, and we just beat Auburn in Auburn, and LSU would say, yeah, well, we beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa again for the first time in 9 tries, and I mean, there would be, and we beat Texas. Right now, LSU has the best win on the schedule of anybody. I mean, I think. I mean, maybe you could argue
if
Georgia.
Oregon and Texas play today, you taking Texas?
It'd be close, but I would say, look,
neutral side.
First of all, when LSU, I have to factor in when LSU beat them. I think Oregon would win now because since LSU won, Texas has lost 3 starting defensive backs. So I don't think it's a fair comparison. But I do think that Texas would have beaten them back then. But now I don't think so. Frankly, I'm feeling a lot better about Alabama's playing Duke after what I saw last week from Virginia Tech.
Yeah, well, you're feeling worse about Virginia Tech. Good.
Oh, God. I've never been so wrong about a hire. I really thought that was going to work.
I did, too. I said that, and he did well, I thought, that first year, and it might have gotten away from at the end of the year, but maybe Bud Foster's kind of mailed it in and forgotten how to coach. That tends to happen.
It doesn't seem like it's ever great when a coach says at the beginning of the year, all right, this is it, I'm done. Because if you're a player, you're kind of like, why am I listening to you then?
They're bad. I mean, they are bad.
Wow.
Duke crushed.
It wasn't
Virginia.
It wasn't a game. I mean, Duke was better. I mean, it wasn't that a fluky like Virginia Tech dropping the ball. Duke was a lot better. Yeah. Now, it doesn't mean Duke's good. It just means Virginia Tech could be that bad. So,
Ole Miss at Alabama. You were at that game.
Really hot.
Maybe 120.
It was. We went down on the field before the game. I had my 3-year-old and my 12-year-old, both daughters, and my wife, and we went down on the field. And I wanted them to get pictures on the field and whatever. And it was cool, but it was 108 degrees down there. But I'm going to give Ellis Ponder, the guy who helped me out getting on the field, give all the people who set that up a lot of props, because it wasn't like you just like, okay, here's your pass, now go on the field and do your thing. They had stations, and they had cooling stations. They had Bama Bells there, like with fans, like not just paper fans, like decent fans, handing them out. And they had somebody come around and take, like, you want a picture? You're like, yeah, okay, let's give them a picture. Daughters on the field. And then they come back to you later and bring a framed picture to you. They brought 2 copies of it so that each one of them could have one. I mean, I just think, it's just stuff like that that's really cool. But the game itself, we went and sat in the bleachers, and I mean, it was just, we had great seats, but it was just scorching. I mean, and everybody was in the portal. I mean, everybody was. It was, you look out on the field and you think, okay, there's nobody there. But trust me, I'm telling you, you couldn't move around around the concessions, everybody, and they had to be, because the sun on our side was just beating down on people. But, and then the game gets started. Alabama scores quickly with Devontae Smith, and then they have the muffed punt. Ole Miss scores off of that. And, a lot of people have been worried about Alabama's defense, but let me say this about that. I understand Alabama's got some deficiencies. Their defense isn't as good as Auburn's. Their defense isn't as good as Florida's. Their defense probably isn't as good as Georgia's. At least it's not right now. They've got a bunch of young guys. They're playing 5 or 6 freshmen at any given time, true freshmen. So, yeah, they're going to miss some plays. And, yeah, Ole Miss just decided, we've got a true freshman of our own. We're not going to screw up. What we're going to do is run straight up the middle, or we're going to run around the ends every single time. We're just going to run the read option, and we're not passing.
You impressed with Plumlee?
I thought Plumlee was good. I was impressed with Plumlee when I saw him in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. And he was committed to Georgia and switched at the last minute to go to Ole Miss. He's got some wheels. Now, he's not he's not going to be an all-star. He's fine. But he's not bad. And Alabama, this is the other thing. Everybody loves to talk about the 279 yards rushing they gave up. And that's true. You can't deny it. At the same time, Alabama had given up 140 total yards in the first half, and it was 38-10 at the half. So I can't blame a bunch of kids 18 to 22 years old in the second half going out there when it's 108 degrees, and trust me, it was 108 degrees, going out there and sort of saying, we got this game, and we can score anytime we want to. There were other passes, like Henry Ruggs got hurt early. They call it a hit pointer. There were 2 passes, and anybody who watched the game will know what I'm talking about, where he had a hitch and go, and it was wide open. And even Gary Danielson remarked, he had the same thought I did, that Tua's throwing to a guy who normally runs a 4.2, and he can only run about a 4.4 or 4.5 right now because Tua overthrew him twice. And, little things like that disrupt your timing. So it's funny because Devontae ended up having the huge game with 279 yards and 11 catches and 5 touchdowns. And that's huge, and I'm happy for him. He's a good guy. But really, it wasn't because they only targeted him. Brian Robinson dropped a touchdown. Could have walked in, just dropped it. And it wasn't the easiest pass. He was looking back at the sun, but a college player should catch that. Henry Ruggs had 2 catches that if he were full strength, they would have easily been touchdowns. So it wasn't like they were only looking for Devontae Smith. But the thing that we talked about on the podcast that Jimmy Stein and I do was, if you had said, okay, going in rank Alabama's receivers, you would have said Judy 1, Waddle 2, Ruggs 3, or swap those two if you want to, and then Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith is, I mean, I looked at ESPN today. They've done some more draft work, potential draft players, and they said he's a guy that's creeping into the first round. I mean, Ruggs, Judy, and no, not Waddle. Devontae Smith could all go in the first round now. I mean, that would be unbelievable.
It would. Up gets a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with hour number 2 of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
You don't want to miss this. The $79 Eliminator Sale. This Saturday only at Superior Hyundai of Anniston. Get a car for $79. Done deal. Or $79 down or $79 a month. Get there. Pre-register at 8 a.m. At 9:45 we open the gates. You find the pre-owned vehicle you're in love with. You'll have first chance when the Eliminator comes around at 10 a.m. sharp. Slashing prices. Don't worry about the weather. Just be there. Details call now. 256-236-7651. Superior Hyundai of Anniston. The $79 Eliminator Sale. Rain or shine. Don't miss it.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
An important message from Jacoby and Myers. For decades, many Americans working in the trades were exposed to environmental hazards without their knowledge. The result, thousands of cases of asbestos-induced mesothelioma and lung cancer. During the past 4 decades, $18 billion has been awarded to individuals with qualifying injuries. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed in the last 4 years with asbestos-related lung cancer or mesothelioma, call today.
Call 800-848-0074.
WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundation. This week's matchup will feature the Hoover Bucks versus the Tuscaloosa County Wildcats. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks of the playoffs. WOTM, the home of AHSAA Super 7, live from Jordan-Hare.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Hondas are the best vehicles on the road, so why not get the state's best prices and incentives? Lynn Gannum and Freeway Honda deliver, and it's always worth the drive. Tell them, Lynn.
We have the best deals. We have statewide specials. That's right. Pick out your car choice, send us a message. We'll prepare the deal, and we'll bring it to your residence. Do not worry. We are #1 with deliveries in the state of Alabama. We will handle the paperwork and everything.
Shop Freeway Honda, I-20 West in Birmingham, or freewayhondaal.com for the state's best prices on new Hondas.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. We are so glad you are joining us this Tuesday evening. Hour number 2. It's been a fun show so far. A lot of calls, a lot of interesting conversation about college football and its future. About Auburn and Alabama. Both had good games against Mississippi schools. Alabama got a week off this week. Auburn going to go down to the Swamp and take on Florida. So we'll talk about that game, set it up, preview it just a little bit toward the end of the show.
Well, and then Auburn takes the week off next week, and I think both off weeks come at perfect times for both teams. That look, Alabama's obviously, I mean, they've had a rash of injuries like you just can't believe, and losing Dylan Moses is showing, and it is definitely hurting. But having this off week, I think, is great for Alabama to get some more composure. Then they go to Texas A&M. Again, I am no longer a believer. I was a believer in A&M coming into this year. I am no longer a believer in that squad. Kellen Mond, watch Kellen Mond, run for 200 and throw for 300 against us, but I just don't feel like they're a great team. So Alabama gets to go down there, and they play on CBS, which I thought was odd. Why CBS chose that in lieu of Florida LSU, unless they think Auburn's going to beat Florida, which is certainly reasonable. But it seems like LSU-Florida would be the bigger game. And I was kind of hoping for Alabama to have a night game. I don't care if it's on the road, at home, whatever. We've got these new fancy LED lights nobody's ever going to be able to know about. But then Alabama's got Arkansas and Tennessee back-to-back before another off week before LSU. So I think these next 3 games, like these next 5 weeks, Alabama's got a lot of time to shore up their defense. And for Auburn, you play a Florida team this week. You got game day going down there. Again, I just feel like this is a game Auburn's going to be able to handle pretty easily. And then they have an off week to gather their composure, and I think it works out well for them too.
And then go on the road to Arkansas, and then you got the big one in Baton Rouge. So that'll be very interesting.
Arkansas's got Alabama and Auburn back to back.
You're welcome.
God.
Hey, again.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but I mean, it's just watching that Arkansas Texas A&M game. If you didn't feel sorry for that squad, I mean, you're like. Throw them a bone, college football gods. I mean, not against my team,
not
but
against
somebody.
My team.
They
may get it this week. You never know.
Who do they play?
I don't. It doesn't matter. Let's switch gears just a little bit. Luke, true or false? Raiders' Vontaze Burfict, his hit on Colts tight end Jack Doyle deserved a year-long suspension. Because
it's Vontaze Burfict, yes. If it were somebody else, I would feel like, okay, this is one of those things where it's somebody that didn't know any better or somebody that doesn't have to learn the rules. Burfict, at this point, should be treating everybody just about like his two-hand touch. He has been fined and refined.
I think they said penalties like this have cost him $5 million in his career.
He's just wired differently. And
he was born to play in the 60s.
Yeah, and
this is not the 60s, though.
And some people, again, understand football's a violent game. It seemed like it was pretty obvious to me. And 10 years ago, I would have said, oh, let them play. But I think knowing what we know now, you've got to take that out of the game. And Vontaze, it's not like this is your first rodeo.
No.
So, yeah, I'm fine. And he plays for the Raiders, too, which didn't help the situation. The Raiders already have a bad reputation. He played for the Bengals and the Raiders.
Yeah. Maybe the specific hit didn't rise to that level, but it's the cumulative effect of everything
Correct.
that he's done. What's the chances Clemson is not one of the 4 best teams in college football in 2019?
Are you saying what are the chances they won't be in the playoff? Or what are the
I'm
chances
saying what's the chances they're not
one
of the 4 best teams?
Okay, if you're just saying, Luke, name your 4 best teams, I would not have Clemson in my top 4. I think if anything, but look, here's the thing.
By the end of the year. I
still don't think so, man. Etienne had that good first game against Georgia Tech.
Who is dreadful.
They lost 100-2 against Temple.
They scored 2 points.
And they also lost to the Citadel this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we're going to get to know anything about Clemson. Their best win is against A&M, and now we're seeing more and more like, okay, maybe A&M's not good. And as the season goes on, that we'll see. But and you get taken to the wire by a North Carolina team that, granted, that North Carolina doesn't lose, but the talent discrepancy between UNC and Clemson is not close. It's a huge gap. So I don't think they're one of the best teams in the country. I don't think they will be by the season's end either. But I think they'll be in the playoff because they'll be undefeated.
What's the chances?
75% they're not one of the 4 best.
All right.
But 90% they're in the playoff.
Yeah, I probably agree. I don't know. They may have to play Duke in the ACC title game.
They don't know.
True or false, Luke, it's ridiculous for North Carolina to apologize for poking fun at Clemson fans. I don't know if you saw this story.
I did.
But for all of you out there that did not, just like you go to a college football game on the road, obviously the cameras pan through the crowd. It's a timeout. Sometimes people are dancing or whatever. Somebody at North Carolina said, hey, it'd be funny. let's pan around and look at some Clemson fans, and we'll just kind of poke a little fun at them. So they, during a timeout, they focused in on certain random Clemson fans, and they had things like this. Doesn't know or thinks that Clemson's actually in Georgia.
Yeah.
They had one that said
also a Patriots fan.
Also a Patriots fan, bandwagon. They said one that was doesn't know who the last coach of Clemson actually was, and the final one was thinks that the fridge is just a kitchen appliance.
That's right.
Who is William Perry, of course, played for Clemson. I thought hilarious.
I thought
and
very
now
creative.
The athletic director for North Carolina comes out and says we regret doing this, and we feel bad that we insulted the. We want everybody to feel included and want everybody to have a great time when they come here.
It's just so stupid. I don't understand. Did one of the? I mean, he said they got some emails. I wonder if one of those people emailed. They didn't say anything disparaging like, look at that fat broad. They didn't say anything like that. Look at this. Look at that meathead.
I know.
Nobody said that. They said, thinks. I mean, if you can't laugh at that and you can't laugh at yourself a little bit, I mean, don't go to these games. You're taking it way too seriously.
It's quite ridiculous.
It's all part of the new culture, and again, it's sad that we're at this place in society, but that's where we are. Yeah. And you can't. It was not mean-spirited.
No,
it was
not
done
at all.
in jest.
I thought it was quite humorous, to be quite honest.
It's hard to do it that way and be funny and have no mean-spirited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought they pulled it off.
Let's take a phone call, and then we'll go to break.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say Alabama and Clemson was to play Saturday.
Yeah.
Alabama would beat them by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
I would agree.
I would probably agree too.
Wholeheartedly.
In fact, I would take it a step further. If Clemson had played any of these 4 weeks, if they had played Auburn, Georgia, LSU, Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, I think all those teams win by double digits over Clemson right now.
I think, yeah. All right,
I don't know if you
answer that
agreed or
question.
disagreed.
All right, yeah.
But
got his point across.
Yeah,
so.
I agree
Let's
with
go. We got to take a break. We'll talk about this during the break and try to figure it out. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like figuring out which remote turns the TV on, or the smell in the vegetable crisper that in no way can be vegetables, or finding your phone when you leave it on vibrate. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Lake Martin Heating and Air Conditioning, 256-307-4137.
Hello, my name is Dave Milton with Southeastern Land Group. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our company. We sell farmland and timberland in Alabama and the surrounding states. Not only do we have a land sales division, but we also have a timber sales division where we can help you with your timber sales and your timber appraisals. There's 22 of us in our group scattered throughout the southeastern United States. We are a full-service land and timber sales company. We do with farmland, timberland, cattle property, poultry farms. 866-751-LAND. Go to the website, selandgroup.com.
Boaters in the Lake Martin area know whether you need service, maintenance, repairs, a great selection of pre-owned boats, or a brand new pontoon. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280 is there for you. Thanks to a record-setting sales year, Alex City Marine now has one of the finest pre-owned inventories they've ever had. Repairs, service, routine maintenance for all your boating needs. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280. Check them out online at alexcitymarine.com. You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota. We'd like to announce our new lifetime warranty on any new Toyota.
Hashtag lifetime warranty.
Hashtag we love our customers.
It can be used nationwide at no additional cost.
Hashtag customer service.
So come on by and let us show you
the Vaden way.
Hashtag maintenance matters.
Hashtag totally awesome.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, just a short drive from home or online.
Hashtag your neighborhood dealership.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you for only about 45 more minutes in tonight's show. Luke, what's the chances Ohio State is the most complete team in college football?
I mean, right now I think 100%. Now,
hard to argue.
I mean, we're just going 5 weeks in, and
who they played?
They played Cincinnati, and they've played at Nebraska, and Nebraska's not very good, and But again, I'm not going by. I don't think we can just go by who you've played and say, okay, well, Clemson. At first, everybody was Clemson beat A&M and sort of toyed with them. They did, but now looking back, if Clemson was really good, they should have beaten them a little worse. I mean, A&M's not very good, and Kellen Mond is throwing a lot of picks and a lot of overthrows, and he doesn't run when he should run. I mean, their game plan against Auburn was mystifying. I mean, they just would not let him run the ball.
Yeah.
So, you wonder how good they are, but it doesn't matter who Ohio State's played. When I watch them play, they look like a good, sound football team. They're not just beating other teams badly because other teams are bad. They're beating other teams the way they should beat them. And they go to Nebraska with game day there. I know Nebraska doesn't have, again, a talent discrepancy with Ohio State. I know they've got that. But they took them to the woodshed early and often and just beat their brains in. And then, they even did the cordial thing where they took their foot off the gas because it was so embarrassing and let Nebraska score at the end. I mean, practically. I think Ohio State would have to be number one. And really, I mean, I'd have a hard time not putting Oklahoma too, frankly. I know they hadn't beaten anybody either. They hadn't beat UCLA's terrible. They beat up on Texas Tech this past weekend, but their receivers are always open.
Yeah.
And they play enough defense, but they hadn't played an offense to challenge them. But they look better on defense than they did last year.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, I mean, Houston's obviously not great, and they put up some points on them. But you go back to Ohio State. I think first game of the year, Florida Atlantic put up 21 points. But I mean, that looks now like, I mean, Ohio State was just kind of finding their way a little bit with Justin Fields, who looks like people are finding out maybe he's about as good as what Georgia thought he was going to be. But this is kind of the world of college football we live in now. Go ahead.
But what's funny is I think a lot of people are wondering, did Georgia let the right guy go? Alabama could have easily been in Georgia's place. Georgia's got a fine quarterback. Fromm is very good. Fromm's going to be a first-round draft pick. I don't think collegiately he's as good as Justin Fields is. I think Justin Fields has more to offer. Same thing to me with Jalen and Tua. I love Jalen Hurts. I hope if Tua doesn't win the Heisman, I want Jalen to. I really do. I think he's a great example of how you want your kid to act and how you want him to be. But there's no doubt in my mind, Tua is the better quarterback. I mean, statistically, people say, well, look at Jalen, he's done this and run for that. But that's kind of what he has to do there. That's what Oklahoma quarterbacks do. Alabama quarterbacks have never done what Tua's doing. And they took, people just discount the second half of the national championship game and he won the SEC last year, and he just on and on into the night. Now, Jalen had something to do with that towards the end, but I just feel like I wonder if Georgia has a little bit of remorse about letting the wrong guy go, even though they were put in a position where I don't think they had any choice.
Well, I mean, they've I think are happy with where they've been the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And if they get there again this year, then I don't think anybody.
I mean, it would be awesome. Even, I think, I know it sounds like just an Alabama fan, but if Alabama and Oklahoma and Georgia and Ohio State somehow end up being in this playoff, that would be storylines out the wazoo. Even if it's Georgia and Alabama in the first round, Ohio State, Oklahoma in the first round. 2 transfer quarterbacks, 2 teams that have played some classics lately, and then whoever meets in the finals is crazy town.
Yeah, it would be pretty incredible. And it would never happen years ago. That this time period that we live in is the only way something like this could happen with the way college football is.
Instead, what we'll probably end up with Notre Dame, Iowa, Clemson, and LSU.
Watch out for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Hey, Baylor's undefeated.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you have to let your eyes do the talking sometimes. And I watched that Iowa State game. Baylor's not very good.
They're not very good. Just some interesting tidbits on this specific October the 1st. 1932, very famous moment in history on this day. Babe Ruth might have or might not have called his shot, depending on, some people say he did, so that were there. Others, say that he didn't. But it appears that he did point to center field and put one in the seats shortly thereafter. And that was at Wrigley Field.
Was it the next pitch?
I think it was. It was pretty close. And that was Game 3 of the World Series. Yankees won that game 7-5. Roger Maris on this day, October the 1st, broke Babe Ruth's record, very controversially, hitting 61 home runs in a season. That was off Boston's rookie Tracy Stallard. Kind of was an asterisk by that 61 for many, many years until several years ago, baseball removed that asterisk, and rightly so. The reason it was for the asterisk, though, because Babe Ruth did it in, I think, 140-something games, 148 games, and Maris had a couple of extra, I think it was 156 or something like that he did it in. So technically, you can understand why you got to say, well, we maybe need a little caveat, but nonetheless, Roger Maris deserved that honor. 1975, the Thrill in Manila. The third fight between Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali went 14 rounds. Muhammad Ali defeating Joe Frazier. You think about that. Here's the interesting thing about those fights. They fought in 71, fought in 74 in a rematch, and then the third one in 75, one knockdown in all of those fights. Only one knockdown. And that was Joe Frazier knocking down Muhammad Ali.
That's crazy.
Interesting. 1988, something that's never been done in the history before or since. Steffi Graf defeated Gabriella Sabatini, who was quite fetching back in the day. 6-3, 6-3 to win the women's singles tennis gold medal at the Seoul Olympics. First and only Golden Slam in history. She won the Australian, she won the French, she won Wimbledon, she won the U.S. Open, and she won the gold medal. That ain't a bad year.
That's strong.
1988, Steffi Graf. She was pretty good.
She wasn't unattractive.
She was not bad. Andre Agassi thought so.
Yeah.
They, as far as I know, are still together. So
they
congratulations.
Probably are still together.
We're up against a break. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after these messages.
Scotty Fortenberry is Dadeville and the Lake Martin area's full-service Alpha agent. His office on Broadneck Street offers comprehensive life, home, auto, and boat insurance at Alpha's competitive rates. Scotty and Alpha Insurance are Alabama's #1 life insurance company for a reason. You'll always get the personal attention you and your family need. Scotty also has your commercial needs covered, so whether it's just a quote or full insurance evaluation, call Alpha agent Scotty Fortenberry at 256-825-9211.
WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundations. This week's matchup will feature the Hoover Bucks versus the Tuscaloosa County Wildcats. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks of the playoffs. WOTM, the home of AHSAA Super 7, live from Jordan Hare.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Guys, it's back!
Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair? Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag? No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
The door is open, the beer's cold, and the biscuits are hot at Fochie Sportz on Dadeville Road in Alexander City. Fishing season is in year-round and live bait is available. Non-ethanol gas is available along with propane and pellet ice. So come on by and see what we're all about, where the kitchen is open Monday through Friday early at Fochie Sportz on Dadeville Road in Alexander City. And tell them old Katie sent you right here from the front porch, WAXC TV.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you for only about 30 more minutes in tonight's show. Had a question from a caller. Who do you think would win between a game of Alabama and Oklahoma? We'll just say, for the purposes of this conversation, neutral site game.
Well, let's say it'd be in Atlanta or in Scottsdale.
Okay.
I mean, I'd have to like Alabama's chances. I mean, simply because, yes, while I think Jalen Hurts would have certainly a unique perspective on Alabama's defense and what they're going to do, he might not have as much of a unique perspective because a lot of the guys that are playing now weren't even on campus when Jalen was there. But I do think everybody would know kind of what's up with Jalen. And I would think that our coaching staff would have a pretty good idea of how to stop him. Now, I don't want to take anything away from him, and his passing game has obviously gotten better. But he is literally throwing to guys. When you see the highlights, there's nobody around him. I mean, I give a lot of that credit to Lincoln Riley and their coaching staff. They just get guys open, and that's what you should do. And so I'm not trying to take something away from Jalen because he's also running very well with the ball, but it's also pretty obvious the way they're beating people and the margin of victory and the fact the yardage that Jalen's getting, that they're doing their damnedest to have a Heisman push for him, which I'm okay with. But I think people should take a little bit of that into credit because they don't play outside of Texas, who again lost 3 starters in the secondary due to injury this year. They're not going to play a great defense all year long. They're just not. I mean, UCLA is horrid. Houston has guys quitting on the team now. They just don't play anybody that's going to give them a game that's going to give them the opportunity to be stopped. Now, on the flip side of that, I would normally say Alabama's going to play a lot more teams like that. But Arkansas ain't it. Tennessee ain't it. I don't think A&M's it. But Alabama's going to play Auburn at the end of the year, which is a defense 10 times better than anything Oklahoma's going to face.
That's probably true. I mean, I think it would be obviously a high-scoring game. I think that it'd be kind of like the semifinal. But, who knows what could happen. I'm not impressed with Oklahoma's defense. Not that impressed with Alabama's defense, but I would certainly lean toward and give Alabama the edge. And if I was handicapping the game, I would say Alabama by 7.
I think another thing that people are holding against Alabama in a way is Alabama's being judged by its standards of the last 10 years, and Oklahoma's being judged by its standards defensively. So, I mean, everybody's like, yeah, Oklahoma gave up 30 points. That's what Oklahoma does every time they play a game. But Alabama gives up 30 points no matter the circumstance, and everybody's like, whoa, they got a lot of issues there. And I'm like, yeah, but on the other side it says 59, and it could have said 109 if they had wanted it to.
I think more of Alabama's is teams are out rushing Alabama. Now, again, it's a misleading stat in some degree, but like you said, 279 yards rushing for Ole Miss. And Alabama only with 155. And they rushed the ball 30 times, I think. But I think that's the part where people just look and go, it's not affecting Alabama. I mean, they're still winning by large margins. But you figure if there ever comes a day where the chemistry's not there, or if somebody, their secondary plays extremely well, Tua has an off day, and they have to rely on trying to be physical and, run physical to beat somebody, having done it all year, that might be a problem.
Yeah, but it is different for Alabama because this year it seems like the offense has to make up for some of the defensive deficiencies where it's always been the other way around.
Yeah.
No matter the star power that Alabama had on offense, it always felt like, okay, they're going to win this thing on defense somehow, some way. And I think now this year they will win it on offense somehow, some way because they do have. I mean, it's the best group of receivers Alabama's ever had on the team at one time. I would argue, name a better quartet of receivers any one team's ever had. Because I forgot this. Because I saw an article about some guys that are having sophomore slumps, or they call them a slump. They just sort of, it rhymes. Or not a homonym. What's it?
I don't know.
What's the word I'm trying to look? It's like a
sophomore slump. I don't think rhymes or anything like
that. I know,
but
not rhymes, but it's like 2 words that sort of sound like. Oh God, it's not homonym because that's 2 words that is here and here.
Yeah.
But anyway, great. This is great television.
Yeah.
But they call it a sophomore slump. And they had Trevor.
If you're
Lawrence
an English teacher, give us a call.
They had Trevor Lawrence on the list. They had Jalen Watt on the list. They were like, look, it's probably unfair to put him on here because. He's got Devontae Smith catching on, and Jerry Jeudy, won the Blitnikoff, and then you got Henry Ruggs. But last year, I forgot he had 850-something yards receiving. I forgot that. Now this year he's got 177, so he's certainly not on pace to get up there. But he almost had 1,000 yards last year. I just totally forgot that. So, but I mean, it shows you what he's capable of.
Throwing for 400 yards a game, so somebody's gonna have some yards.
Yeah. But last year we also had a better running attack last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Brewers 3-1 over the Nationals.
Thank God.
That was a score from a while ago. NFL. All of a sudden, you look up and the Browns are leading the AFC North. Fred Kitchens. He was on the hot seat last week. He's the toast of the town this week.
Well, They beat up on the Ravens.
And the Ravens looked good.
Lamar Jackson, they did look good for a while. And really, they were Ravens' other loss was to the Chiefs. And so I guess they're tied, right? They're tied for the league because Ravens had 2 wins, didn't they? They had
2 wins says synonym.
No, not synonym. That's 2 things that mean the same.
That's
it's alliteration. I think that's what I'm looking for.
We'll take it.
But anyway, the Ravens are still going to be pretty good. It wouldn't shock me at all if the Ravens went into Cleveland and won the revenge game. That wouldn't shock me in the least. I think the Browns are one of those teams that's very talented. They run on emotion. They can beat you on a given day, but it's more likely that you're going to out-scheme them if you keep your head about you. And the Ravens did not keep their head about them.
Dolphins, winless. Bengals, winless. Broncos, winless. Redskins, winless. Cardinals, winless.
Yeah, but they got a tie.
They do have a tie. And they're proud of it.
But the only one that's really trying, and I mean giving it all they got to get winless, is the Dolphins. It's embarrassing.
The Redskins aren't exactly.
I think the Redskins have tried, but they just aren't good.
Yeah.
And then last week they got desperate. They put Dwayne Haskins in there. And again, I think Haskins can be a good player, but not everybody can come in and be a true freshman and light the world on fire, or be a rookie and light the world on fire. Haskins probably needed a year to develop, to get in there and get his mind right. And
probably true.
So it's you threw him into the Wolves now, and you may have screwed him up even further.
We get another break. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
We're ready for back to school, even if you aren't ready. Purchase any Napa Automotive battery and receive $25 back by mail at Napa Auto Parts.
Your comfort is our number one concern. Advanced heat and air.
With the hot summer season just around the corner, it's time to decide if your current air conditioning system will keep you cool this year. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning for a free estimate on a brand new energy-efficient Trane heat pump system for your home or business. Your comfort is our number one concern. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-234-5052.
WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundations. This week's matchup will feature the Hoover Bucks versus the Tuscaloosa County Wildcats. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks of the playoffs. WOTM, the home of AHSAA Super 7, live from Jordan Hare.
Don't miss Atlanta's hottest music event of the year, ATL Live at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Sunday, November 17th, featuring Eric Church, Luke Combs, Brothers Osborne, and Kaylee Hammond. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Grab a 5-quart jug of Napa conventional motor oil for only $12.99 for a limited time at Napa Auto Parts.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you for only a couple of more segments in tonight's show. Talking about the NFL, Luke, contender or pretender? The Bills 3-1.
Pretender. I listened to them play the Patriots, and the Patriots played like crap. Yeah. They played terribly, and they beat them. Look, in the end, I think it was a 6-point game, but the Patriots had a 13-0 lead. It should have been 21-0, and the Bills just kept hanging around. And in the NFL, if you hang around long enough, if you're not the Dolphins, you're going to have a shot. But there was no doubt who was still the better team.
Yeah. We know the Chiefs are contenders. We know the Patriots are contenders. Cowboys 3-1.
I think the Cowboys are a bit of a pretender too. They got their first test after all this cockiness against the Saints, and they just couldn't get it going offensively.
They
won, what did they win that year? 12-10 or something like that. I mean, it just it wasn't like they had Breeze. They had Teddy Bridgewater back there.
Yep.
So
not a lot of offense for the Saints.
Look, the Cowboys are a popular pick for the Super Bowl right now. I get it.
They're a popular pick every year.
They are. But right now, especially after starting undefeated 3-0, I think pretender.
Packers 3-1.
I think the Packers are a team you don't want to play. Aaron Rodgers has not had his game yet. He's not been Aaron Rodgers-like, but he's about to be. And I really hope he is, because I got Devontae Smith and Aaron Jones on my fantasy team. So I hope that he goes off on the Cowboys this week. That's going to be a fun game.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? This is how big that game is in NFL. First of all, even though if you're not an NFL guy, but this game, like a Packers-Cowboys game, has the most collegiate feel to it versus – pick the Bills and the 49ers or the Chargers and the Saints.
Yeah.
Cowboys-Packers feels like a college game to me. And it's such a big game.
Packers fan base, I mean, that's...
But it's such a big game that there's only one other game at that time slot. Normally the NFL has like 4 afternoon games, maybe 5, occasionally 3. There's only 2 this week.
That's interesting. Who's the other one? It must be a stinker.
Oh, it's a dud.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember who it is, but it is a stinker.
The Chicago Bears.
Oh, they're
3-1.
Trubisky's out for a little bit now, I know. Defensively, they're great. I mean, they've got a good defense, but I just don't think that – and they beat up on the Vikings this past week. But, I just don't see it happening.
Saints 3-1 without Drew Brees.
If Drew Brees gets back, here's the thing. I think with Bridgewater in there, if he can just – hold down the fort until Breeze gets there. If they can just go like 500 until he gets back, I think the Saints will be tough to deal with.
The 49ers undefeated at 3-0.
Yeah, I'm not buying that yet. They play the Browns this week. It's either Sunday night or Monday night. I'm just not buying them at all. And plus, it's really hard to cheer for a California team right now, isn't it? Don't you just sort of like, I mean.
I didn't even know the 49ers are still in the league.
I really want to like the whole state of California. I want to like, because it is a beautiful state, and it's got everything you want. I mean, California is a bigger Alabama. Alabama, to me, it's got the mountains, it's got the ocean, it's got, things in between, it's got hot weather, it got some cold weather, you can do whatever you want. California is kind of the same way, but on a much grander scale. But, you just, all the celebrities are telling us what to do, and the governor's trying to ruin my college football. Y'all just do your thing.
Take care of yourself. Worry about yourself. Seahawks 3-1.
I think Seahawks are a contender. I think Russell Wilson he's just a winner, man.
Rams 3-1.
I listened.
Took it on the chin by the Bucs.
I listened to that Rams-Bucs game.
Gave up 55 to the Bucs.
And I had the Rams defense. I don't remember what it got me, but it was something negative. And this is not a good Bucs team.
No.
And the Rams just got shellacked. They've got a big game coming up this week. I can't remember who they're playing, but they've got I think they play the Seahawks on Thursday night.
Moving over, just got a couple more minutes in this segment, and we'll close it out in the next segment. MLB playoffs going on right now. Brandon Woodruff started for the Brewers, Max Scherzer for the Nationals. That last check, it was 3-1 Brew Crew. Tomorrow, it'll be the Rays and the A's. Who you liking that one? I know. Look, the A's have had maybe the best. I mean, the last 2 seasons, they have just been really good. Had 2 of the better seasons they've had in so many years. And unfortunately, I mean, they're in the they're getting kind of overshadowed by the Astros, but
I mean, I guess I'll pull for. I kind of like this is a place where I like all the West Coast teams to win in baseball, so I don't have to mess with it as much. Like if it's all West Coast, I don't get the same. It's not in my face all the time, whereas I want to be watching college football.
Yeah.
But if it's East Coast teams, and it's like the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Braves, I mean, everybody acts like they're lifelong fans, and that's all you get. So I'm kind of hoping. Let's hope for the A's.
Okay, I would like City. I'm just never been a big Rays fan.
Is Graveman still playing?
He's been hurt. I'm not even sure he's still with the team.
Okay.
But he's certainly not pitching right now. Braves and Cardinals, game 1, Thursday afternoon, 4 o'clock, SunTrust Park. Who you like in the Braves?
I mean, the Braves clearly are going to
Cardinals.
Win this thing.
You like?
They're going to win it all.
Oh, come on.
That's just the way. Look, the way my last year has gone, it's going to, Auburn's going to win the national championship. Braves are going to win the World Series. Name somebody.
Auburn basketball is going to
go back to the Final Four. Tennessee beat Alabama in college football.
Yeah.
So that may be the most outlandish of all.
You better get your affairs in order if that happens. Yankees and Twins. Yankees are way favored in this series.
Yeah, but don't the Twins hit like a gazillion home runs?
They do.
That would be the one reason. Again, I'm sort of like Daniel Tosh, the comedian, where he said, "Baseball's just more fun when everybody's juicing." It's just,
better to juice the ball than the players, I say.
If the players want to juice themselves, that doesn't hurt me.
Dodgers, they'll face the winner of the Nationals and Brewers. Dodgers and the Astros, to me, two best teams in baseball. But Astros will play the Rays and A's winner. Dodgers will play on Thursday as well. Astros and Rays are.
How long does this go on?
Well, you've got a 5-game series for the divisional title. Then you'll have a 7-game series for the National League and the American League Championship Series. Then you'll have a 7-game series for the World Series. So it's not that big. It's not like the NBA playoffs where you're having like 7-game series.
You're preaching to the choir. I would be pro cutting down everybody's playoffs. In fact, but I would take it a step further. I think it should be done. I think the SEC and all the conferences do this too. Let's get rid of divisions. Let's just do your thing and then get the best teams in there. Because if Cleveland, everybody in that, I guess that's the AFC North.
With Cleveland?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's AFC, it's
Browns,
Cleveland,
Ravens, Steelers, Bengals.
And everybody's like, we're 2-2 and we're winning the division.
AFC South, everybody's 2-2.
I don't want anybody who's 500 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
On any sport.
Oh, I think that's rarely happens.
In college basketball, it happens a lot.
It does not happen.
It does happen
It
a
may
lot.
Yeah, but one team out of 68.
Okay. Well, excuse me.
It doesn't happen.
It may not
be
500. They may be 58%. That happens a lot.
Well, basketball, you're going to have guys. You're going to have 20 and 15, 20 and 14 kind of seasons.
And to me, that's not good enough. That's what I'm saying. That's not good. That's a good season. It's fine. I just don't like rewarding them for a shot.
It's good enough to be the 12th seed.
I don't agree with giving a team like that a shot in that championship. But again, I'm not saying I'm not going. Obviously, I'm going to watch it. It obviously makes more drama. I'm trying to have the most legitimate championship.
You got to throw that word out, legitimate. Basketball is set up to be a tournament sport. That's what it is.
It is set up to be a tournament sport.
And you play for the regular season to increase your odds of winning the national championship, to put you in the best possible position that you can be in, and that's the way it's done, and it works brilliantly.
It works in terms of entertainment value, if that's all that we're doing now. And it seems like that's all we're doing now. We have come full circle to the beginning of our show, where that is what we are, is just everything's all entertainment now. And so it's kind of hard for me to get as passionate about it when I know this is all just for show, man. This is like when you're invested in it and you're like, people are committed to winning, and this means something.
We're up against a break, but we'll be back with one final segment of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Hey, you mind if I borrowed this for a sec? I just gotta look something up.
Sure.
Conjunctivitis. That's what I got. You know, pink eye, I just couldn't think of the real name for it. Thanks, man.
When you want quick quality care, come to Russell Medical Urgent Care. We're open 7 days a week and conveniently located behind the Cancer Center on the hospital campus. Russell Medical Urgent Care. When it's not an emergency, but it's urgent.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Sports Blitz Live. Thank you so much for all of you out there joining us this evening. Only a few minutes left in tonight's show. It is not a great weekend for college football, but there are some games that pique some interest out there. Could be some interesting games. Central Florida is at Cincinnati. Cincinnati, a better team than a lot of people think. Central Florida got beat by Pitt.
That's what it's over. It's over, man.
It's over. They're number 18
Central,
in the
it's
country.
gone. It's gone. And thank the good Lord, it's finally over.
Thanks.
But and also, this is what everybody's been screaming. It's not that Central Florida can't beat somebody. It's not. They can do it. The problem is when you have to play a Power 5 conference opponent every week. And I know Arkansas is putrid, but you know Arkansas's got some guys. They got some dudes. That Akeem.
Tight end.
No, the defensive tackle, Akeem, I can't remember his first name, but he's good. He could play for anybody in this league. And then you've got to turn around and you play A&M, or you play LSU, or you play Florida, or you play Auburn, or you play Bama. You know, it's not the same as playing these other teams.
Quickly, Iowa at Michigan.
I like Iowa.
Baylor at Kansas State.
I'm going to go with Kansas State for no other reason than I like that coach.
Air Force at Navy. First leg of the
Navy, sure.
Virginia Tech at Miami. Remember when that game was actually decent?
Oh, God, this game's going to be brutal.
Who's worse? Georgia at Tennessee, do they cover 24.5?
Yes.
Auburn at Florida. Auburn is a 3-point favorite. Give me a score.
Auburn by 14.
Wow. You guys are saying this.
I swear, I'm
pulling the jinx, right?
I'm giving you my honest opinion. I don't think Florida's very good.
I think that's true too, but I'm scared to say it.
I know you, and I get that. And I understand why you think I'm jinxing you. I'm not jinxing you.
We hadn't done it in a while. Any grievances?
Man, I got a lot of grievances, man.
But that doesn't involve baseball?
No, I mean, I got some others too.
Or the NCAA tournament.
I'll tell you what, I got a grievance that some of these dudes aren't listening to this new law about get out of left lane.
Oh, yeah, that's been going on for a while.
And I'm getting to the point where, like, I hate it when people crawl up my backside if I'm in the right-hand lane. And I'm not a slow driver. And they crawl up my backside like I'm supposed to pass. And I'm like, look, I'm in the correct lane. You're supposed to get over there. And, you know, then they do that. But I've found myself having to, like, in the left lane, every now and again you gotta get up on them and sort of let them know, like, you got to move, dude. I mean, you can't get in the left lane and go 55.
No.
You can't do it.
No.
I mean, you can, but now you're supposed to get in trouble for it.
That's what they say.
But I haven't seen anybody do anything about it. You're still out there. You people are still out there. You know who you are.
We can't fight City Hall. It's pretty much going to wrap up Sports Blitz Live for this Tuesday evening. We appreciate all of you out there again joining us. We are here each and every Tuesday evening. Be sure to join us from 7 to 9 on this station. For Luke